Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Cheers. We are going to do F# programming language coding exploration. Okay, just random, just me working on my F# tutorial exploration. If you are here, say hi. If you are not here, play at 1.5 speed. You are looking at my keyboard. This is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard 80. UHK80. Search on my YouTube and you'll find it. Okay, let's go to my screen. And we just gonna relax and do stuff, okay? F# stuff. You don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna show you. Okay, it's just me walking, okay? So we did Wolfram language, fantastic and beautiful, okay? And that was yesterday. So that was yesterday. And yeah, today, so let's go to, so I did some let's go to desktop, open in folder, and let's go to JJJ temp files. Okay, so I did this a bunch of screenshots so that Shift W to make them display by window size. So these are the things I need to do on my F# tutorial, but let's have a drink first. Red wine. Okay, so can you see my screen? And can you see my screen and today's talk show? Close that. Xah Talk Show F# programming language exploration. Okay, let's just start to do them. This is format string. So this is about F# learning nodes. You go to string section, then there's a section on formatting string. Okay, that would be there. So open it, copy the URL, showing browsers. That's today's talk show. Search for sections, search for section. Okay, create a new section. Okay, that's a link to the formatting string page. Open it, showing browser. And the screenshot says when I walk around back and forth, taking a break, it says this section needs to move up for better clarity. That is why. Okay, yeah, so I was trying to explain sprintf. Okay, so sprintf, yeah, so let's do that. Update today's date 3. Okay, so this one, wait, not that one, that one. Wait, did I screw up? Remove all the syntax color so you can better see the code. There it is, sprintf. Okay, so this is a correct page. Now, okay, syntax color everything, showing browser. So sprintf turns values into turns values into a string. Okay, so comments turns value into a string but does not print. First argument is a string with placeholders. Placeholders is 2 characters starting with percentage sign. Okay. So we begin with sprintf. Let's add a header. Okay, sprintf. Let's say h2. Then you got printf. Okay, then you got printf. This came from the C idiots, printf and sprintf. The habit, the convention is you got long history, 30 years, 40 years came from C. Okay, it's printf and sprintf. They are for formatting purposes. So so alternatively, if you if you blame the C people for sprintf and printf, then what is a better way? Well, the better way is actually I explained in one of my live stream. Okay, the better way, they needs to be separate functions. One is about converting values to string. Okay, and the other one is converting values to string. So you have binary to string. I mean, you have integers to string, integer to hexadecimal string, integer to binary string. You have those kind of things, and you have also string formatting issues like, well, okay, so converting integers to binary to hexadecimal, but you also have converting Boolean data type to string or other data types to string, such as floating numbers to scientific notation or engineering notation, or truncation of the decimal, how many places. So that's, that's to string for numbers, floating numbers. And then you also have issues like, so anyway, they should be different functions. Okay, that is that would be the proper design. But we inherited, because of convention, then because of habit, we inherited from C idiots. So we got this printf and sprintf everywhere. Okay, that's a damage from C. Now, talk show. So I highly recommend you watch this video from last year. So 2025, actually a few months ago, search for rock string. Okay, so this one, Xah Talk Show, episode 702, the C printf crime and new syntax for string, rock string. Okay, that is one of my best videos. This is my experience of 20 years of programming language design study. Okay, that's my result. So watch that one. Episode 702, Xah Talk Show on C printf crime and new syntax for string, rock string. So that's 1 hour long video with a video summary by artificial intelligence, and that details lots of these things. Okay. Anyway, I'm digressing. So I'm just shifted show. Okay, so fsharp, printf and sprintf. Okay, the functions printf and sprintfn also takes the same placeholders. Okay, so then you need so that needs this new section table. So that's slightly better. I'm just doing minor things to my F# tutorial, which is actually just F# learning notes. When it's good, you'll rename it tutorial, but now it's just my learning notes. I want to learn F# because I actually never all my life I've been functional programming, starting with Wolfram language in 1993. So Wolfram language is also known as Mathematica back then. It's my first programming language, and I coded for like 10 years, like heavily deep. And I don't know anything about like the industrial programming, like what is the operating system, what does it mean, what's the network, I have no idea. So it's just mathematics, Wolfram language, functional programming. So I was like taught from, Wolfram language was my first exposure to programming languages. Then hello, Logamma Honey. You guys have weird, interesting names. Love your website. Thank you. Yeah, I got a problem with my website because I cannot sync. So it has not been updated for like 20 days. So I need to fix that. It'll be fixed pretty soon. Okay. Because and also I'm thinking of switching my website hosting. I think, I'm thinking about that. So anyway, so I'm just, I wanted, so I've been, I know Wolfram language for like by now 30 years. I've been coding it like for 10 plus 10 years. And I've been coding Emac Lisp by now for 15 years. Emac Lisp is also predominantly functional programming language. And starting in 1998, I've been coding Perl professionally for like 3 years. Okay, I need to fix this markup. You see the visual, you see this L is not, I mean, it got a new line. I should fix that. So anyway, I've been coding Perl professionally for like 4 years, and then I started to learn Python. Kind of became my main main language for 5 years or so. So, and I started to learn Golang. But anyway, what I'm saying is that most of my life, in the past 30 years, I've been mostly a functional programmer, Wolfram language and Emacs Lisp, actually. Okay, I learned some scheme and closure. I learned all this language, PowerShell and some Perl professionally, and PHP also I coded professionally. And I also learned some Java and also get paid to do closure for a year. But overall, but I never, so most of my life, I've been coding functional programming. That's what I do. I despise the object-oriented crap, okay? Now, let me recommend you an article if you want to know about object-oriented programming, okay? So read this one. Actually, this one is also good. Creating abstractions, object-oriented versus functional programming. Okay, you know that. I'm gonna tell you which one is important, the best articles. Okay, so you want to read this one. Okay, object-oriented programming jargons and complexities explained as functional programming. Okay, I despise object-oriented crap. I mean, I deeply believe they are just like harmful. Okay, it's one of the situations where, like, for example, for hundreds of years, people believe that Earth is flat. How incredible that is, people actually believe something like false for thousands, for quite a lot, hundreds of years, depending on the region. Okay, so we know that at least the Western people, the Greeks, knew that the Earth is not flat since like 2,000 years ago from the Greeks. But anyway, the idea didn't come across, so people believed in lots of places, like millions of people, billions, they believed Earth is flat for thousands of years, for a thousand of years, let's say, so it's incredible. Now that's a kind of a silly example, but such example also exists. People believed in, for example, in USA, you have like every 10 years, every 50 years, you have certain like extremely fake ideas. For example, you can think about Victorian era, their thought about philosophy, about ethics, about what is right, what is wrong. And, people used to be like some racist ideology. And today you got the social justice warriors of our era who believe that sex is a construct, So flat Earth, the flat Earth phenomenon, can you believe that? That's incredible. But in the same way, this kind of believing in non-truth, false stuff happens not just in society in general, but it also happens in programming. And I would claim one of them is the object-oriented programming paradigm for the past 20 years, let's say. Okay, so you got object-oriented programming paradigm, which is one of the way, but what I would say is that it has been propelled as the solution in a non-factual way too much, basically, like the Java programming language and C++, the most fucking damaging crime in programming history. Okay, C++, fuckheads. You might say, why are you so extreme? But anyway, think about flat Earth. It does happen. Okay, so that's my if you disagree with me, that's I'm telling you as like example of justification. So anyway, so what I'm saying is that the object-oriented programming paradigm is very is bloated. It's the merit of the fitness and the merit of object-oriented programming paradigm is overvalued to a severe degree, like severe, to a degree such that it became kind of like a scam. Okay, so that is what I'm saying. And concrete example, I would claim this happened in C++ community, happened in Java community. In fact, Java and C++, they are like wholly dedicated language for this object-oriented way. Okay, C++ began it, then Java, and I would claim Python. Okay, Python today is like one of the most popular. In fact, C++, Python, they are all, and Java, they are the top 3 most popular programming language. Okay, the other ones are JavaScript and PHP, for example. Okay, cheers. So is that interesting? So okay, I digressed a lot. I started to do a lot of talk than actually doing things for myself, because actually I need to, work on these things, F#. Anyway, I'm telling you guys to read this article. Okay, just search for xahlee.info, object-oriented programming jargons and complexities. Okay, search for it. You might add my name, Xah Lee, to in front, XHLEE, to target to find my article. So there, okay. Object-oriented programming, jargons and complexities explained as functional programming. Okay, so this article has been very popular. It went to Hacker News for a while, like 10 years ago, once or twice. Anyway, so that I recommend you guys read it. That's one of my most popular articles. Okay, that one. And the other one is, I would recommend another one. So let's see. And this one is kind of new. History of Object-Oriented Programming by Casey Muratori. Now, Muratori is a famous programming coder celebrity. So he's famous coder, okay, because he's a big in a gamer community, game programming. That's his profession. That's what he does the best, game programming. Okay, so he did a deep dive into the history of object-oriented programming. Okay, so this article I just wrote a few months ago, so I highly recommend it. In fact, you should, basically just read, just watch his YouTube video. So he's got YouTube videos about it, like it's an hour long. I think it's an hour long. Okay, so watch this guy's video. Fantastic. So that's the 2 articles I highly recommend. So let's copy the link here. So let's post the link to today's talk show, so that we have like a record of what we are saying, and later on people can refer to it. Okay, so we did that. So we did object-oriented programming, jargons and complexities. Copy that, paste the link, linkify it, make a list, combine the 2 lists, show in browser. So there you go. So fantastic HTML, Xah HTML mode, the power of Emacs editor and Xah flag keys. Undo. So if you are wondering what am I talking about, so I'm talking about this. Okay, so wait, undo. I'm talking about this Xah flag keys. Go to the source code, go to it, 4,000 lines of code. Okay, go to the top and go to the URL here, homepage, open it, open it, showing browser. That's Xah flag keys, the most advanced key binding system for Emacs. Makes Emacs more efficient than VI, Vim, or NeoVim. Okay, XAH flag keys. I have videos on it, tutorials. In fact, I have hundreds of videos in the past 3 years. Okay, there's a manual install and also the key map, the diagram that shows you what this Xah flag keys is about. It's most efficient by scientific measurement, okay, than Vim or NeoVim or whatever. Okay, so that's what I'm using. So close that, close that, close that, showing browser, which I have a link here, okay. So now let's get back to the F#. So did we do this page? Formatting string, yes, printf, and now there's one more thing to do. Okay, so let me show you. So let's go to the page, go to it. For Xah section, HTML add section to H2, do it. Then showing browser. Now you see, now you got a section box for each H2. So each H2, now you got like this box. Fantastic. Okay. Now that command, I wrote it in Emacs, of course. I do a lot live stream of writing these Emacs commands, okay, if you guys want to see it. So if you guys don't know, search for Emacs, for example, XH Emacs. Okay, so then you can go to my Xah Emacs tutorial. Xah is a prominent figure in Emacs community. Yes, of course. So go to my website, then you can go to Emacs and Emacs Lisp video tutorial. So I've been doing live stream in the past 5 years. So there are like over 100 videos about. So you can learn from the ground up about Emacs, or the most efficient and powerful editor, text editor, for programmers mostly, and for writers as well. So you can learn about that, and Emacs Lisp from the ground up, or Emacs workflow efficiency, Emacs Lisp from the ground up, Emacs Lisp, the programming language, the functional programming language, okay. Then Emacs Lisp writing a major mode. So we wrote a major mode for Golang from scratch in 2021, and we wrote a major mode for Python in 2023. So there are 3 videos about it. Each one is 1 hour. And we then Emacs Lisp and lots of, okay, so I've done lots of Emacs Lisp coding and live streamed it in the past like 5 years, okay. So you just search for my name, Xah Lee Emacs, and Emacs Lisp video tutorial. So copy the URL and let's paste it here. So what is this? Okay, go back here. Okay, so that's good. Well, I don't want the absolute URL. I want relative path, you see. Okay. String browser. Fantastic there. Okay. Now next to do F#. Okay, so this page is about have 3 thing. Now let's search. So let's go to F#. F# tutorial page. Go to a directory. You see all these are F# tutorials. Now you just search for 3 thing. search for any occurrence of the string 3 thing. Okay, then you can find the page. So go there, showing browser. So you can see this page is about fsharp $sign string template. Okay, so that's a particular syntax in fsharp for when you want a template string. Okay, but I got an error here. You see it says cats, but it is wrong. Okay, so cats. So pop it out. So run it. So you can see the result should be I have 3 cats, but instead I have 3 things, so that's wrong. So correct it. Okay, so I can run the code so you can see all my command calls on the pink window. Let's make it bigger so you see Xah cut line or print region. Xah delete other window. So run current file. You see that's a command I just executed. If you search for that, press. Wait, press. Wait. Yeah, search for that. Wait, not Twitter. Okay, so Xah look up web. Xah run current file. You will find. Wait, not Neo. Okay, so oh God. So Xah look up web. What? Not Neo. Okay, so what? Why is it this? Okay, Xah look up web. Do it. Xah run file. Okay, something is wrong. This what? Why is it doing that? Because this is incorrect. Okay, something is wrong with the, anyway, you guys don't know what I'm doing. So any comments? Yes, sir. What? Yes, sir. I forgot. Love your website. Okay, I forgot what I was saying. Okay, so correct that. Put it back. Syntax color it, showing browser. So let's see what else I need to fix. Okay. This says I am currently 30% drunk. Now, what does this say? Indent or wait, in duly incorrect. But anyway, we corrected. Okay, you should be 3 cats. Okay. So what was my notes? What was my English? Including I forgot what was I saying there. Okay, so this is about some Twitter idiocy. Okay, you know, Twitter idiocy, because this is basically Twitter, you know, basically this is my screenshot about the Twitter warning message. Twitter is flagging this, you know, Twitter warned me, posted a message to me about, you know, it says we flagged these posts as sensitive content. We put a warning message on these posts because they might have sensitive content like nudity, sexual content, violence, gore, or hateful symbols. You know we don't always get it right, so if you think we flagged your post by mistake, you can appeal the warning by clicking on each post. Keep in mind, this doesn't guarantee it'll be removed. You see, Twitter, the extreme corruption of the deep state. You see, they flagged the message because, you know, maybe because of nudity or sexual content or violence or blood. Okay, gore. Gore is like a euphemism for blood. okay, when you see blood or hateful symbols, okay. So they flagged a post, but you see, on Twitter, there are lots of porn, okay, like porn, like tits, ass, and cocks, penis in pussy, in vagina, lots of porn. But those, they don't get flagged, those, like oftentimes, or some girl, they doing a selfie, which like semi-nude, they don't get flagged. But if you talk about the science of sexuality, maybe you talk about like vagina or something, then you get flagged. It's fucking idiocy. This corruption of the USA deep state. That's what happens. Okay, I can show you exactly what it is marking. But I have to search it. I forgot what is it. I have to search for my let's see, my what? Oh, it shows Ergo Emacs. That's my old account for long ago. I haven't posted to Ergo Emacs for like 5 years. Anyway, so you go to my Twitter so you can see, what is this flag about? Anyway, it's idiotic. Okay, Twitter. So it's about this picture, something maybe 2 weeks ago. I forgot. Okay, somewhere. But you see this Twitter. You see Twitter. This one is posted by Elon Musk. This one is shared by Elon Musk. By the way, it's like about AI creating girls. Girls, like, they are the center of humanity. Okay, the white men don't know it. The white man's got problems. The United Kingdom, the British, and the German kind of people in America, okay, in USA, they are kind of sick. So anyway, this was reposted by Elon Musk, the richest person on earth, who's got like 20 million followers or something, the biggest person with anyway. So going back, so this is my screenshot. I wanted to make a record of it, but there's so many. Anyway, so this one is done. So let's go to this one, $ with triple quotes. Okay, so in F#, you got $ with triple quotes. Okay, so you need to go there. $ triple quotes, and what you want to say is, okay, so just delete that. And actually right now I'm like 30% drunk, so my IQ is not at the highest. I don't like drinking because it dumbs you. That's what drinking does. Drinking or the drugs, it makes you stupid. So what am I saying? So that should move here. Okay, so that should move here. So right now I'm not thinking. I'm just following whatever my notes says. Okay, and let's update the date. Okay, so you can see showing browser. So the date has been updated. So $ with triple quote. So you can do that. And $1 means that, $2 means that the number of $ correspond to the number of curly brackets needed to be interpreted as an embedded expression. Okay, that should be needed. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so are you guys like following me? Okay, so close that. So what about this one? Convert string to int float byte array. Okay, so that's another page. about converting string to int, float, byte array. Okay, copy that. Close. And what is string format? Close. And paste Linkify. Open it, showing browser. Go back, update the date, and I want to make this into 3 sections. That's what I want to do. Okay. So let's say H2 to H3. Do it. Okay, so undo. So to float to int, convert string to int to float and to byte array. Okay, so 3 sections and make it okay, so you got int f# new block, that's your int, then new block f#, yes, and you want to convert to float there and convert to byte string. Okay, syntax, color, everything showing browser, fantastic. You see, we broke a block of code and one H2 heading into 3 separate headings. You see, convert to string to int. That's how you do it. Okay, now you also notice, you see, the background color has changed for my code because I did some CSS code cascading style sheet change. Okay, so it became so this convert string to integer type or float type or byte array type has been split into 3 sections. So I think that helps for better clarity. Okay. Is that correct? Is that right? Yes, I think so. Convert string to int, float, byte array. Yeah, we can. Okay, so do that. Okay, so we can we run it? Yes, of course. For example, let's do it. Run it. Fantastic. So you see, it prints system.int32. So by default, if integer, you can convert a string to integer. Let's see, what is that character? That character is O, capital O. Okay, so close that, put it back, syntax color the whole thing, the whole page, showing browser. Okay, so that done. Now this, okay, so this is about split string to characters. Okay, so this is split string to characters. Okay, so there are something we need to do. This part is a bit complex because a string, you see, if your string contains Unicode characters such as emoji, then it can get complex. For example, this string, so actually, so let me rephrase. Okay, so if your string contains non-ASCII characters such as Chinese, Russian, or a tilde, or or niña, those tilde, like niño in Spanish, grave accents in French, or acute accent, e, acute e, grave e, used in French, then you may you may have a problem. Okay, so if your string contains those characters, accented characters of Western languages or Chinese language or Japanese, then, or Russian, okay, then you got a problem because each character may be decomposed. If you want to turn the character sequence of a string into a sequence of arrays, then your arrays may become like these half characters. Okay, that's a problem. You see, this happens if you convert to array, or if you convert to a sequence of characters. A sequence is basically a lazy eval, which is an idiotic thing. Okay, so what am I saying here? Okay, so yeah, so this section is about split string to characters. Okay, so this, you can do them this way, dot to char array, or you can do it this way, sequence char. How do you do this? Okay, so you can actually assign a text to this type sequence, a sequence of characters type. But however, in both of these ways, the result you get is not what you want. You see, you want basically you want the list of characters, but both of these get you incorrect. So they are correct only if your string is only ASCII characters. Okay, so that's about that. So you need to tell space string to array. Okay, so first of all, h2 to h3. So let's see. So first of all, you want to say split ASCII. Okay, then you want to say split Unicode. Okay, I believe. Refresh. Okay, wait. What? Okay, so okay, h3. What? Okay, so h3 showing browser. Okay, so split string to characters. Split ASCII string to characters. Okay, so you should change this. Yeah, you should change them. Okay, let's try. Okay, so run it. Yeah, so that's the output. Does not work if your string contain none. Okay, this is important. Okay, so that's that. And what about this part? Same thing. Okay. Okay, so okay, back to browser, refresh. Okay, but if you wanted to, if your characters contains Unicode, then any Unicode, then what you can do is you can say enumerate runs. Okay, so how does this work? Enumerate runs. Anyway, this is how this works. Okay, and what is this? I don't understand. Okay, I think I'm tired. So these Unicode characters. So if you deal with split Unicode string to characters, okay, so actually the wording is not the best. The best wording, the better wording is you say split string to Unicode characters. Okay, that's a better wording. Split string to Unicode characters better than split Unicode string to characters. Okay, split string to Unicode characters. That's right. Now, what about this one? Now, what is this code about? Hello world and some guy in space suit or something, monkey. I don't know what is that. Yeah. So let's go to next. Okay. So binary octal, because this one involves some thinking. You have to think about what to do with that. But right now I'm not in a position to think about things. So next, let's do some easy ones. So this one is about default float number type, binary octal hexadecimal. Okay, that one is about numbers. Okay, basically it's about how do you input numbers of binary digits, or input numbers of octal digits, or input number of hexadecimal. Okay, so you can edit it, trick the wording to make it more comprehensive, better writing. Okay, so this is about writing. Update the article date, then you need to go to binary input, just say input. Okay, octal input and hexadecimal input, showing browser. Fantastic, we got the date updated. Then you got number separator, binary input, octal input, hex. Should we separate them? Yeah, I think so, into 3 different sections. Okay, let's see. Default integer number type, default float number type, number separator. Okay, binary input, octal input. Yeah, let's separate them. Okay, so binary input, octal input, and hexa input. Okay, so binary input there, and this is hexa input, showing browser. Fantastic. Okay, binary input, octal input, hexadecimal input, so it's like clear, more clear. Okay, so we done this with this one. Yes. Okay, I think actually okay, delete that. Now what about this fsharp format string, try CSS? Okay, so this is about changing the CSS, which I already did. For example, let me show you. So you go to string and you go to format. You go to format string. You see, before, every code text that's colored red. Can you guys see it? Okay, maybe you guys cannot see it. So shift O, so you can see better. Okay. So any code character was red. You see, red indicates it's code. But now I changed them. Any code character, now they have like background gray color. So it's more outstanding. You see, compare. You see, and the code also have gray background. You see, before it doesn't, but now it does. So wait, format string. Yeah, so you see, we also changed part of it. So you see, so this is also done. Try CSS background color. I wanted to see if it's better or not. So the question here is about styling of code. So you got 2 codes. One is the code tag, for example, that, and the other one is the pre-tag, which stands for a code snippet, like this, actual code example. The other part stands for like a function name, or short command name or syntax. You see, so they are used in 2 different situations. So before, I just, one of them, I just have the red color, and the other one is the actual code. But now I change the style to this. Now I'm not 100% certain this is better, but it's just experiment, because in fact that's what you have to do, a lot experiment. Okay, so let's delete this. Okay, then there is that thing. Okay, that thing is about type. Okay. Okay, f# type. So do we have it? f# number, let's say type. Well, that is 0. Okay, so open that. Wait, open that. So you can see that character is actually 0, I believe. No, Latin capital letter O, so it's annoying. So if you run this code, run it, it returns that. Okay, so O means capital, the printf, which is a C programmer's damage, the C idiots. Okay, so we got printf, so we got this %O, that's capital O. Very confusing. Okay, so that's another issue about the English language. The capital letters issue. The capital letters actually, it happens from kind of happenstance of history. So capital letters actually is not very useful today. It should be banned. Okay, it should be like we should completely remove it. But of course, we cannot do that because of the past conventions and habit. But anyway, capital letters is not really that useful. Okay. But anyway, so what you got here is, you see, one of the issues is that it causes confusion. Like for example, capital letters. Some capital letters, they have the same appearance as the small case letter, but not others. So first of all, you got this complexity. But then the issue here is that it looks like, the capital O or lowercase o looks like 0. Now, this is not a fault of capital letters, but it's a separate issue about this glyph, homonym, homoglyph, something like that. Okay. Anyway. It's a bit cold. Okay, so anyway, so this is how you get type of some value in F#. Put it back, syntax color the whole page, show in browser. Okay, so that is capital O. And what I want to do here is, it's like confusing because it looks like capital, it looks like 0. That's one of the confusing things about font, which is another huge issue. Okay, so that's capital 0. That's part of the formatting thing. Okay, so you need to go to like string, and you go down, and you go to the format string, and then here you can see the capital O. There, capital O, any value formatted by boxing the object and calling its system.object.toString method. Okay, so anyway, so that's how you print type. Okay, so for this one, let's just should we say is it appropriate to use %O here? Is my question. Because getType, I believe in .NET, getType already returns a string, right? So you don't, so this is something I don't know about F#. let's ask Grok. Okay, let's see what the AI say. Delete that. Okay, we got more things here. Okay, so anyway, let's ask Grok. Is it appropriate? Let's see how smart is Grok. Okay, test the AI's capabilities. So you need a new question. Paste the question here. Do it. Okay, so here's the answer. Yes, it's appropriate, interesting, fantastic artificial intelligence. Okay, let me get some things to drink. Okay, so let's see. How are you guys doing? Am I doing a good, like, is this a good stream? Is this what you guys looking for? 5 concurrent views. You know, it's funny with the live stream because like some videos, I thought I was doing really, truly great theoretical stuff, very valuable. But you only get 200 views, 300 views. On the other hand, sometimes you do a rant, which is, well, rant is always dramatic, but sometimes you don't think there's that much technical, like unique values in your live stream. But that live stream gets 1,000 views. So, you know, it's interesting. Okay, let me get something to drink actually. Hmm. This is the last shot. Actually, the last shot of this keto one. Are you guys familiar with this thing? Okay, so this keto one, this is like cocktail espresso martini. I don't know what is martini, but supposedly it's like some just cocktail. Okay. I think that's the end of it. So okay, so let's go back to, can you see my screen? Yeah, we got a few things to do. Okay, so let's see, there's a more screen. What is this? Okay, is it appropriate to use O? So let's see the Grok answer. Yes, it is appropriate, and in fact, percent capital O is exactly the right choice in this particular case. Why is that? Let's see, let's explore, because I thought get type will return. What does get type return? I think it's okay, it's a special type, but not necessarily string in .NET, like the .NET object system. The .NET is actually fairly complex. I never get, I don't completely have a good picture. So anyway, when to use %capital O versus other specifiers? Let's see. Generic to string or nice default printing. Okay. Structured debug style printing, F# default, only strings, compile, okay, whatever. Okay, let's some details I'm not ready to appreciate yet. Okay, cut that. Let's go to today's talk show and let's just paste a question here, like for guac, and guac answer is here. Okay, and one more screenshot. Now what is this? Named literal, declare compile time literal. Okay, so yeah, so I'm talking about named literal, which is F# variable. We're talking about named literal page. So let's go there. Open it. Update today's date, and basically the problem is that named literal, you need to, there's some kind of wording problem or ordering problem. You see, in this section, I'm trying to tell the reader what is named literal in F#. So you can declare compile time literal. That's what it is. So you want to declare a variable as a literal, but at compile time. So there's this notion of compile time literal. Variables can be declared as compile time constant. Okay. Now this is as opposed to, variable without mutable declared are always constants, but at runtime. So you have two concepts, runtime constant versus compile time constant. Now, runtime constant just means, whatever you declare that variable is just a constant. The value never changes during the entire program's running time. Okay. But now you have a new concept called compile time literal. It means, this variable, like before your program even runs, it got replaced by the literal value it stands for. So you don't actually have a variable anymore. The program simply replaced it, all the occurrence of the variable by the value. So at the compile time, before you even run the program, that variable in your program is actually just that value. Okay, so this is the concept of compile time literal, which is, my learning notes or my tutorial is trying to tell people. So, but when you have this, you need to say, right now, my tutorial, the way it is not totally clear because you either need to say variables, you need to say variable, you need to say, okay, so there are two ways to fix it. Okay, so basically, let me just show you. Okay, I'm 30% drunk. Okay, so you need to say to declare a compile time literal, okay, so this describe, it gives a condition of what next sentence is about. So go back here. So look, now refresh. You see, to declare a compile compile time literal. Okay, so you need to say time. You precede the let line by that. Okay. Anyway, okay, I got some comments. Hi Xah, what's the stream about today? It's kind of random about F# programming language, updating my learning notes. Okay. And a good approach, I forgot what that is. So how is the Emacs going? Emacs is going great. Oh, double shot. Okay. So I'm done with my drink. I'm like 30%. I'm 30% drunk. Okay. So which means, you know, when you drink, you cannot think. You know, you cannot think clearly. But anyway, so I improved this passage. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's double check. Is that the final version? Named literal, declare compile time literal. Variables can be declared as compile time constants. Okay, variable without mutable they declare always constants, but at runtime. So one way to improve this description is, you know, don't mention mutability. Don't mention mutable here because that's confusing. That's like a different thing. So one way to improve this, so let me tell you what am I thinking. Okay. So one way to improve this tutorial, the wording of it is that you say, okay, you say variables can be declared as compile time constants and parentheses as opposed to run time constants. Okay, so showing browser. So one way to improve this tutorial is you say variables can be declared as compile time constants as opposed to runtime constants. Okay, to declare a compile time literal, you precede the let line by that. Okay, so instead of these two, so before this list of items is replaced by just that one. Okay, I think this one is better than the list of two items. What do you guys think? So, question from Waifu Sing Paris. What you have to do to be middle class these days? What kind of question is that? Okay, I'm semi-drunk, so let me answer that question. What do you have to do to be middle class these days? Well, by definition, let's narrow down the context to America. Okay, Americans in USA. You know, because that's middle class is kind of the concept of USA. So by definition, the term middle class basically means average people, like kind of the almost the majority. Okay, by definition. Like, what does middle class mean? By definition, it's like the majority of Americans. So what you have to do to be middle class these days? Nothing. Like, by definition, if you are not special, if you are not abnormal in some way, then you are middle class in USA. Okay, so your question, waifu something, Paris. Waifu sing Paris. Okay, something about Paris. So I don't know if you are American or Paris. Anyway, I think that answers your question. So let's go back here. So let's just delete this, delete that. Okay. So named literal variables can be declared as a compile time constants as opposed to runtime constants. Okay, so that's what you do. Okay. So delete that. Okay, I think I'm done. Now there is some I think that's it for today. So did we do this? Yes, we did some of that. This is about split string to characters. So this is about string, convert string, split string to characters, split ASCII string to characters. Actually, that should be split string to ASCII characters. Okay, so open it, search for ASCII string to ASCII characters. Okay, so refresh. That's how you do it. Okay, so you kind of delete the to do. Well, leave the to do because the to do signifies, it tells myself that in the future that this section needs a lot more work. Okay, so this section is about split string to characters, needs a lot of work. Okay, so back here, my notes, deleted. And what is this? Check rename file in my tutorial. I think that's it for today. Okay, check rename file in my tutorial. So we did this Emacs this coding command to delete Emacs backup. I forgot what this is about. Anyway. Okay. Bye, guys. We shut down in 1 minute. Okay. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. Okay. Refresh fsharp type. That's right. That's how you get the type of a value. Fantastic. Close it. So fsharp is a fascinating language I really want to master. Okay, that's like my to-do for 2026. fsharp. I got still some way to go. Okay, so fsharp variables, that's why I'm doing like part of it. Oh yeah, so another thing I need to do today, how long have I been going? 1 hour and 25 minutes already. So anyway, one of the things I want to do is to go through. Yeah, so I have a fsharp find and replace code that I need to improve, which we wrote this live about a few months ago. So there needs a lot of improvement. So that will be next time. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I think tomorrow we either do Emacs Lisp. Tomorrow we either do Emacs Lisp or we're gonna do Wolfram language. Okay, so okay, bye guys. So did I answer your question? Waifu in Paris. What do you have to do to be middle class? By definition, most people are middle class. Okay, unless you are special. For example, you are in poverty, or you are in like top 1%, top 30% rich people. Okay. Okay. Bye, guys.